Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep. My name is Naveen, and today we'll be looking at CAT 2024 Arithmetic, which is under Quantitative Analysis and Quantitative Aptitude, and we will be doing the part 6 of the series. Okay, so everybody please make sure that you fill up the form, which is the counseling form that is pinned in the chat. Okay, so let's continue with our first question of the day. The runs scored by A and B are in the ratio of 3:4, and the runs scored by B and C are in the ratio 2:7. If the total number of runs scored by all the three batsmen is 168, then the runs scored by B will be how much? So it is given that A and B, they score runs in the ratio 3:4, and then it is given that B and C, they score runs in the ratio 2:7. B is common in both the ratios, but corresponding value is not same. So we have to make it same. For that, what I will do is I'll multiply the second ratio by 2, sorry, not 4. So that we get 4:14. So now if we see how many runs A made, how many runs B and C respectively made, this is what we will see. Now, if we add all the runs that we are able to see that they made, is going to be 21. But it is given to us as 168, right? So what you do is, using this sample that we have obtained, which is total runs by them is 21, but it is given in the question as 168. So we have to see how many times it's going to be. So it's going to be 8 times. That means everything in this particular part is supposed to be 8 times. So this becomes your multiplier. Now, as per the question, we are asked number of runs scored by B. So it's going to be 4 times 8. That will result in 32. So we will have option B as the answer. Right? Okay. Next, the cost of a marble slab is directly proportional to the square of its thickness. So I can say that price is directly proportional to square of the thickness. Find the cost of the slab with a thickness of 4 mm. If the slab with a thickness of 3 mm cost rupees 36. So price when the slab is 36, so is going to be K into 3 square, right? And the price at that time is given as 36. So we will put price at the place of price, we will put thickness at the place of thickness, and we will, instead of proportionality sign, we will convert it into equality and multiply a constant on one of the two sides. So let's say on the right hand side, we multiplied by a constant K. Now the question is asking us, we need to find the cost of the slab with a thickness of 4 mm. So we don't know that price, that is equal to K into thickness being 4, so 4 square. Now we need to find out the value of P. The fastest way is by dividing these two equations, so that the common part, which is K constant, it gets cancelled out. So we will have P is going to be 4 square into 36 upon 3 square, which is going to be 16 into 4, which is 64. This is 9, right? 9 into 4 is 36. So your option D is the answer, right? Next one. The paint and oil mixtures are in the ratio 1:3 and 2:3 in tanks A and B respectively. Find the ratio at which the mixtures from both these are supposed to be mixed if the resulting mixture has 30% of paint. So if you look at this, can we say that paint is 1/4 of the total volume, right? So we are going to work on paint, okay? Because resultant is given as paint, so it will make things easier. So paint from mixture A or the tank A is 1/4, which is 25%. Paint from mixture B is 2/5, which is 40%. And the paint from both of them, that is the average paint, is 30%. So if I want to find out the ratio in which these two paints should be mixed, I will have to use alligation. I'll prefer that. So 25 and 30, they are at a gap of 5, and 40 and 30, they are at a gap of 10. So the answer will become 2:1. So we are supposed to make them in the ratio 2:1. Next one. The average weight of students in class 8, which has 2 sections, is 54 kg. The ratio of the number of students in section A to the number of students in section B is 4:3. If the average weight of students in section A is 60 kg, then what is the average weight of students in section B? So there are two ways to solve this. I will be discussing both the ways. The first one is alligation. So using alligation, we know that section A, the average weight is 60 kg. In section B, we don't know the weight. The average weight is given as 54 kg, and the ratio in which they are, these students are brought together, it's 4:3, right? So using alligation, 60 and 54, the difference will be 6. This difference should be how much? So 4:3 can also be written as 8:6, right? So if we have doubled the right hand side, we are supposed to double the left hand side. It is visible. Okay, so it's visible, right? Now we need to find a number which is 8 away from 54. Now 8 away from 54, we have two possibilities. Either it is going to be 46 or it is going to be 62. If you look at the option, 62 doesn't exist. And another way to understand this is the average of 60 and 62 will lie between 60 and 62, and it cannot be 54. That is another reason to strike out 62. The answer will become option B, right? So this is first way. The second approach is, let's say in section A, there are only 4 students and the weight of each of the 4 students is 60. And in section B, there are only 3 students. So the ratio, the proportion that you see in the ratio, that is the number of students. And it is given to us that the weight of both the students together, both these sections together, as in all these 7 students, is 54. So what will be the weight of this? 3 students. So if you pay attention, you will realize that 60 to 54, that's a reduction of 6. This is a reduction of 6. This is a reduction of 6. This is a reduction of 6. So there is a reduction of 6 into 4, 24. So here, there should be an addition of 24 overall. Now, addition of 24 is supposed to happen from 3 people. That means the addition should be from each person to be 8. So what number shall I write so that when I add 8 to it, I get 54? So this will result in 46. Right? Deviation sum in the case of averages should be equal to 0. Let's look at the next question. Anusha and Akash started a business together. Find the amount invested by Akash for 9 months if the profit received by Anusha is 50,000 out of a total profit of 1,25,000. Anusha invests rupees 2 lakh for a year. So this is a question about profit sharing. So if I look at the profit sharing, how much did they share? So Anusha got 50,000 out of 125. So the remaining 75,000 was borne by Akash, right? So this is Anusha received 50,000 and Akash received 75,000. Now, what is the investment meant by Anusha? The investment meant by Anusha is 200,000. What is the investment meant by Akash? We don't know. So let's call this as X. The duration for which Anusha made the investment was for a year, that is 12 months. The investment that Akash made was only for 9 months. Now, profit sharing happens to be the product of investment and duration ratio should be same as profit sharing का ratio. ठीक है, इसके बराबर होना चाहिए. As in 200,000 into 12 is to X into 9 should be equal to 50,000 is to 75,000. So if you pay attention, this one will become 2, this one will become 3, 9 will become 3, 12 will become 4. So if we solve this, we will have X is equal to, now 3 also cancels out, 2 also cancels out. So this is going to give us 400,000. So option B. Next question. The average marks scored by 5 friends is 84. The average decreased by 4 when the score of Sitara is added. Find the marks scored by Sitara. So I'm going to solve this using two approaches. The first approach is, since there are 5 friends, so let's say these 5 friends as per the question is 84, right? 84 marks. And when Sitara is added, the new average is decreased by 4, so that means it becomes 80 now. So you can see that there is a reduction of 4 from each of these 5 friends. Now, why is the reduction of 4 from each of these 5 friends? Why did this happen? Sitara's average is also 80. Because Sitara needed those extra. These minus 4, minus 4, minus 4, overall minus 20 was given to Sitara so that she also achieved 80. That means that extra 20 should be given to Sitara. So how much should Sitara have? Sitara should have had 60, right? Same, some of the deviations should be 0, or the negative deviation should nullify the positive deviation. Sorry, it's 20, not 24. So this is one way. Another approach is, so since final resultant, it decreases by 4 from 84, so this is 80. And then you subtract the number of people we have into the reduction that has happened. This will also give you the answer. I'll repeat, final average minus the number of people on whose the reduction happened into the amount of reduction happened. So 5 people, there was a reduction of 4. So the 20 should be deducted from the final average, right? Another way of looking at this is, the average was used to be 84. Finally, there are 6 people and there is a reduction of 4. This will also give you the same answer, right? So if you practice, enough number of questions like these, you will come up with, much quicker answers. So answer is going to be option A. Next. Ravi bought 90 pens at the same price per pen, sold some at a loss of 12% and remaining at a profit of 15% by gaining an overall profit of 6%. Find the number of pens sold for a loss. Loss of 12% means minus 12%. Profit of 15% will mean plus 15%. And a profit of overall 6% will become plus 6%. Right? In what ratio did he sell the pens? So the difference between minus 12 and 6 is 18, and the difference between 15 and 6 is 9. So it was sold in the ratio 1:2. The question asked is, find the number of pens sold for a loss. So can I look at this and say that out of every 3 pens, 1 pen was sold at a loss? Now, as per the question, we don't have 3 pens. We actually have 90 pens. So we are talking about 30 times. So as usual, everything is going to be 30 times. So this will also multiply. This will get multiplied by 30. So 1 into 30 will give us 30. Next one. Nayan gets a telephone postpaid bill which has fixed charges and variable charges which depend on the number of calls. For 100 calls in a month, he receives a bill of rupees 800, and for rupees 125 calls in a month, the bill is rupees 900. Find the total bill for 150 calls. So for 100 calls, the bill is rupees 800, and for 125 calls, which is 100 calls plus 25 calls, right? The bill is now rupees 900. So if we look at this, can I say that extra 100 rupees is because of these extra 25 calls made by Nayan? That means the price of 1 call is 4 rupees. Or we can say the price for 25 calls is 100 rupees. Now the question is asking us about 150 calls. 150 calls, can I say this will be an addition of 25 more calls? So 100, 25, 25. So we saw that for 25 calls, there was an increase of 100 rupees. So for the next 25 also, there will be an increase of 100 rupees. From 900, it will become 1000. For every one call, 4 rupees has to be added to it. From 125 to 150, that's additional 25 calls. And additional 25 calls will cost 900 rupees. So 1000. Option B. So I'll repeat. Please make sure that you fill up the counseling form with your proper email address and contact number, so that we'll get in touch with you. And you can get up to 90% scholarship. All you have to do is write the scholarship test, which is scheduled on 11th of February at 11 a.m. Make sure that you register for this. That is tomorrow. And from 9th February onwards, that's from yesterday until 18th February, All India Open Mock CAT 2024 has begun. So people who are going to target this year's CAT, irrespective of whether you have started the preparation, whether you are taking classes, whether you have completed the preparation, whatever it is, make sure that you write this mock. Don't be worried about the scores or the percentile. This is just to check yourself. Okay, you're going to check yourself as to where you stand and what kind of questions are asked, and how you should simulate the actual exam in the mocks. You know, when to leave a question, when to attempt a question, from which all syllabus or what part of the syllabus do you see most number of questions. So this is like a trial run, right? It will help you understand, how good or how bad you are at with respect to other students, other aspirants, and how much more you need to study, to what extent. CAT College Predictor based on profile is live. Link is given in the description. Make sure you check it out as to which colleges you are eligible for. And you can fill out the form, which is also given as a link in the description. It will help us get in touch with you. You can download our app from Google Play Store, BYJU'S Exam Prep app. And on the dashboard, you can click on the button which says talk to our counselor. It will help you connect with us, and we will solve any queries that you guys have. Do not forget to check out our social media handles and pages. Make sure that you like the video, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe now. Do also join our Telegram channel for updates regarding the sessions that we take. That's all for today. Thank you, everyone. Right, quite mock, Shanesh. Yeah. Okay. I'll see you again very soon with another session. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.